Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Almost a Memory, sponsored by LCA. I'm your host, Anna Collins, and our segment today is Long Day's Journey into Night. Now, Long Day's Journey into Night is a 4-act drama written by Eugene O'Neill, a very famous playwright. Now, it's interesting to note that because Eugene O'Neill based this play off of events that happened in his life, he asked in his will that it not be published until 25 years after his death. However, his wife at the time, Carlotta, had the play published only 3 years after his death. Now, this play was written in the 1940s, but it was published in 1956. Now, many of you may encounter this book in your Humanities 6 curriculum. Now, Long Day's Journey into Night happens in one day. Thus the title, Long Day's Journey into Night. Now, the 4 main characters, James Tyrone, Mary, James Tyrone Jr., and Edmund, all start out seeming like a normal family. But that idea is quickly challenged. We soon learn that each character is consumed by something. They're consumed by some emotion, some desire, some obsession that drives them and motivates them. All 4 of them, in their own unique way, are miserable in their present lives, and they try to change that by going back in the past. But that doesn't help because they're still miserable. Unfortunately, it's not so easy to escape your present reality. It's just not. Now, some of the most glaringly obvious, overt themes in this book are addiction, depression, loneliness, escaping reality, and escaping reality for the past, and stinginess. Now, those are just a couple, and there are a lot more. But those are some of the biggest, most obvious ones there are. I personally really enjoyed this book, and I think many of you will as well. You see, this book, although it was an action-heavy, which is always something I appreciate, it had an excellent plot, and the characters were so complex and unique, and they just built upon each other. And that's something I really enjoy in a book, is the complexity of characters and how they intertwine and interact with each other. I thought that it was a great book, and it had some really great symbolism. Did you hear that? Let's talk about worldview for a minute. Now, Eugene O'Neill is coming at this from the idea, the perspective that social institutions have failed. So we're starting to push out the traditional views of society, of marriage, of family, etc. And we're starting to focus on not the bigger questions in life. We're trying to not think about those things. So what's important to me is distracting myself from the bigger issues, from realizing just how hopeless the world is. So the characters in the book distract themselves through different means, and they try not to think about the overarching questions, the bigger questions in life that leave them feeling empty because, well, quite honestly, because they don't have Jesus. Overall, I thought it was an excellent book, and I would recommend it to anyone. Well, almost anyone. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.